Okay,
Okay.
we're recording. Just on the call, for the record, we have Commissioners Lenny Brayman, Kathy Braun, Mark Corcoran, Meg Francis, Steve Levy, Tommy Noonan, Freda Gordon, Mike DiGiacomo, and Peter Elliott. I am Jim Wendt, for the record, and I will turn things over to our chair, Commissioner Corcoran.
Okay, so this is the March 24th, 2020 meeting of the Fairfield Plan and Zoning Commission. The first item on our agenda is the minutes from last time.
Move to approve. Meg
Second.
speaking.
That's Meg. That was Meg speaking.
Second from Tommy.
Tom Noonan seconds. Any discussion?
One change.
Go ahead.
The last item said that the zoning amendment was presented by Attorney Fallon, and it was presented by Attorney Rizzio.
Yeah, this is Jim. Meg had brought that to my attention previously. She's absolutely correct. That should say Attorney Rizzio instead of Attorney Fallon for that last hearing matter.
Which hearing, sir?
It was the last item on the minutes for the Primrose.
Yeah, I got it.
The zoning regulation amendment was presented by Mr. Rizzio.
So, Meg and Tom, do you want to amend your motions to include that change?
Yes.
Yes.
Meg.
And
Tommy, yes.
Are there any other comments? So we'll take a vote, and we'll poll for the voting. So first, Commissioner Levy. Steve, are you there?
A move to approve.
Press
I
start.
approve.
Okay, you're voting yes?
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Brahman?
I vote yes.
Commissioner Francis?
Yes.
Commissioner Noonan?
Yes.
Commissioner DiGiacomo, who's on for Matt?
Yes.
And who am I missing?
You're missing yourself and Kathy Braun.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. So it passes unanimously. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the... I don't have the agenda in front of me.
I've got it. I can read it, Mark. This is Jim. 635 Mill Hill Terrace is a special exception application of the Town of Fairfield pertaining to additions and renovations to Mill Hill Elementary School in an R3 zone. The public hearing was held on March the 10th. And present at that hearing were Commissioners Wagner, Corcoran, Francis, Brayman, Braun, Levy, Noonan, DiGiacomo, and Gordon. And again, just a reminder that that Commissioner DiGiacomo is sitting this afternoon for Commissioner Wagner. And if I may, Mr. Chairman, I'll just briefly do the staff outline, and then you can go on with motions and discussion. So this proposal involves proposed additions and renovations to Mill Hill Elementary School in order to increase enrollment capacity to 441 students. The current enrollment stands at 346 students. There are 5 additions proposed: an art and music addition in the front of the building, a 4-classroom kindergarten addition at the rear, a small kitchen addition, a stage addition to the gymnasium, and an addition to the administrative offices in the front. The major change proposed to the site layout is to separate bus drop-off traffic from the parent drop-off traffic. Presently, these traffic flows share the same egress drive into Mill Hill Terrace. The plan entails creating a 2-way parent loop utilizing the existing westerly driveway on the Mill Hill Terrace as a 2-way drive. The existing easterly drive will be narrowed and used exclusively for the bus loop in front of the school. Presently, there is some parent drop-off taking place on Mill Hill Road. That will be eliminated under this plan. To facilitate that, the traffic study recommends that the east side of Mill Hill Road along the school frontage be posted as no standing, which prohibits stopping of any kind. And the westerly side of the road is recommended to be posted as no standing from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. This would allow some parking on that side of the street in the evening for school events. Additionally, no U-turn signs are proposed for both sides of the street. The site preparation plan indicates that the area between the parent drop-off on Mill Hill Terrace will be cleared of underbrush and invasive vegetation. There was a concern raised by the Commission that maintenance of that area going forward should be a high priority. A separate fenced staging area is proposed to separate all construction parking and material delivery from the parent parking and bus drop-off traffic. You are familiar with the relevant standard considerations for a special exception. They are as follows. Number one is the location, type, character, and size and use of the buildings in harmony with and conform to the appropriate and orderly development of the town and neighborhood, and not hinder or discourage the use of adjacent property or impair its value. Two is the nature and location of the use in buildings or structures such that there will be adequate access for fire protection. Number three, are the streets serving the proposed use adequate to carry prospective traffic with provisions made for entering and leaving the property without creating undue hazard or traffic congestion? And number four, is the proposed use in compliance with the plan of conservation and development? That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, it's Mark again. Can I have a motion for this?
I move. Kathy?
Is that Kathy?
Yes.
This is Tommy. I would second and maybe ask Commissioner Braun if she would include the recommendations of the traffic plan in the motion.
Yes, I would. Absolutely.
And my only other question is, Tommy, again, is to Mr. Wendt, if the maintenance going forward being a high priority, I doubt we can make that a required recommendation, but is there some kind of non-required recommendation or something we can say in there as well, or just leave it as is?
Jim Wendt for the record. Tommy, I think we can include a recommendation to the Board of Ed as part of this application. They're the applicant, the town, that maintenance, be a high priority to try to eliminate, the ambiguity as to who's responsible for that. I think if we put it in this as a statement in this application, that would be, for them, them being the school, to maintain that area along that frontage. So I don't think I think it's okay to add that as a condition.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'd be, Tommy, again, I would be in favor of that.
So we're amending the motion to include those things, correct?
Yeah, that's good for me. This is Tommy again.
Kathy?
Yeah, that's good for me, too.
Okay. It's Mark again.
Thank you, Tommy.
Any other discussion?
This is Stephen Levy. Question as to the applicant as to provision for bike racks. I don't see it here, and I do note that this is along a bike path.
Yeah, Jim Wendt. Let me just pull out the site plan real quick. I don't know. I'm fairly confident they have existing bike racks there now, but let me just. I'm flipping through this real quick to see if I see any noted, but in the absence of there being any shown, again, I think it's okay to include a provision that, recommend that adequate provision for bike racks be made. I'll note that, Sherman School down here has quite a population of bikes on any given day. While I don't immediately see any, I think it's okay to add that as well as a condition for proper provision for bike racks.
Right, and that's Mark again. That might include existing bike racks.
Right.
This is Tommy. I would be in favor of that as a second movement.
This is Lenny Brayman. I agree with that condition.
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion?
This is Tommy. Just quickly, going through, it seems though we're doing renovations to a school. This seems pretty clear that it meets the special exception criteria, location, size, and character is in harmony with the neighborhood. The adequate access for fire protection. Obviously, they put a lot of effort into schools and making sure the students are safe. the streets serving the use. I think they put a lot of effort into showing what things were going to be like years down the road, and the traffic study, and certainly in compliance with the RPOCD. So for those reasons, I would move to approve.
Great, thanks. It's Mark. Any further discussion?
This is Lenny Brayman. Do we need to include any recommendations as to the parking and the no standing signs that were mentioned in the staff memo and in the applicant's presentation?
This is Jim. I think that's incorporated in the motion thus far, that we have the recommendations of the traffic markings and the traffic report to be recommended to the Police Commission. We've got including the maintenance of the roadside along the parent drop-off to be a high priority to be done by the school. Proper provision be made for bike racks. And I just have one suggestion to add that it was brought up at the hearing. There was some comment about making sure that the traffic related to construction and delivery be coordinated with any school activities, including those programs that may be offered by outside agencies at the site. So that would be one more that I might recommend to you.
Right. It's Mark again. I think it's construction, traffic, and staging.
Yep.
For coordination of construction, traffic, and staging with school programs and non-school programs.
This is Lenny Brayman.
Right.
I recall that being a concern that was expressed at the hearing by the public, and I would agree with that condition.
Okay.
I agree. Tommy Noonan as the second move, and I would agree to that change.
Okay. Is there any? Is there any more discussion?
Let's see. Meg, I agree with those 4 recommendations.
Okay. Anybody
or
else?
Conditions.
So Kathy, will you amend your proposal to include all of these?
Yes, all those conditions, correct.
Okay. And those are the conditions that we just mentioned for coordination and the ones listed in the staff report.
Yes,
and,
thank you.
And Tom?
Yes, everything we've discussed.
All right. So I think we're ready to vote. So let me go through the roll again. And so I'll start again with Kathy.
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Lenny?
Yes.
Meg?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
And I also vote yes. So it passes unanimously. And I believe we're at the end of our meeting.
Yes, that is correct. Thank you all for joining. Stay tuned for future opportunities down the road, but I thank you for everybody's time and attention.
Thank you. Thank you for setting this up.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks
Good
for
setup,
setting it up.
Jim. All right.
Take care,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Stay safe.